Hi, this is Martin from Pridian, and you're listening to the Dan Chen Show.
So I've got Laura and Martin from Pridian in Estonia. How are you doing this evening, guys?
Hey man,
All good.
awesome.
All good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, you're in Estonia, a country I went to many years ago. I went to Tallinn. It's such a beautiful city. In fact, I'm going there again in April, which I'm looking forward to. Whereabouts in Estonia are you? You're not actually in Tallinn, are you? In a place a bit further south?
I can take this. So actually, right now we're almost all of us have moved to Tallinn.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Laur is in Tallinn now. He was in Pärnu before, and
Yeah.
our main man Jörg, he's in Tartu still
Yeah.
for now. But the goal is to move to Tallinn.
Nice. Is it? I bet it's pretty cold there right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I've got to ask you this question. I've never actually spoken to, apart from being there as a tourist, I've never spoken to a band. What's it like living so close to Russia? Are you always on guard? You always read things in the press. And I live in Barcelona, I couldn't be further away from you. But, what's it like? Have you always got that pressure? Does it come into your everyday life, or do you just forget it?
No. No pressure for me, at least. Yeah.
I remember every time I speak to a Finnish band, which is often, they often say, "Oh, they're so close," and you can imagine them being like these harsh neighbors. Onto the music, you've released your new EP, it's Cybergnosis, right? Is how I said it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That was released in the back of November. It's an excellent piece of work. What made you go for an EP instead of pushing for an album this time?
I guess maybe it was because I joined the band, so the sound was uh, going in a different direction,
Okay.
and on this EP maybe it starts stylistically in one way and ends up in a different way. I mean,
Okay.
there's still some sound changing on this EP, I
Right.
I
guess.
mean, it's so most of these songs were written by me and Jörg. Everyone contributes, but since we play the guitar, we usually do the most stuff.
Yeah.
Fortunately, when Laur joined, he instantly brought synths, guitar lines, stuff like that. So that's why the sound changed.
Yeah.
And I like where it's going. We all felt that Laur is like the last piece to the puzzle.
Mhm.
And since then our sound has been evolving, and as you can hear on the last two songs, definitely that it's going. It started out more melodically, but it's heading towards that dark, down-tuned, super nitty-gritty, almost doomcore.
Now, with this
Well,
evolution, thanks to the new member Lau joining, what's the reviews been up to now? Have people noticed the change? And people that have picked up on you recently, they probably didn't know about your past, they probably don't recognize a change yet. But what's the reviews been like, and what's the feedback been like?
so far it's been actually overwhelmingly positive. There have been most of it's very fair. Like if there's there's room for improvement. Absolutely, we totally agree with that. It's our first longer piece of work, but we feel like the band's heading in a really, really cool direction. New stuff is coming along nicely, and we're very excited.
So how do you guys like to write and record? Are you like traditionalists when it comes to getting into a room and writing, or do you do things more remotely?
No, we usually do it remotely because we were living in different cities, so we just had to adapt and put the puzzle together, so to speak. Yeah.
But we did arrange band camps and meetups where we just
Yeah.
hung out and wrote some stuff.
Yeah. I've got to ask this question regarding how much of where you live creeps into your music and creativity. The harsh weathers, harsh winters, your positioning in the Baltics. Does it ever creep into the writing creative process?
I don't know. Maybe subconsciously. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely when you listen to our music, I think it doesn't resemble most bands from, let's say, in the UK or
No.
The States. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I've always I guess gravitated towards the Scandinavian, let's say the new modern Swedish stuff, which is mostly like the thal or the gent, if you will, stuff. But I don't know. I guess it does. I mean, the European way of writing songs is very different. It is almost like the Scandinavian way as well. Quite different, in my opinion. So definitely, the winters and the hot summers they really like make us write, let's say, more into the extremes. Like there's very like let's say the song Disgust, it has like very dark places, but it does take it to a very cool like melodic payoff as well. So it has everything basically.
And I suppose you mentioning that, what kind of headspace do you have to be in to write these very cool tracks? Would you write different music if it was winter compared to if you were being creative in the summer? Would that affect?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, when it's dark times, it brings darker riffs, I guess.
Yeah. So for me, then, I'd want you to write everything in the winter, right?
Yeah.
Let's keep it dark. Now,
Yes, sir.
What's the lyrical themes? Because I think, Lara, you said, and I'm going to quote this, I read this on Deadfall, the track Deadfall: each and every soul has a breaking point. This song depicts the chaos unleashed once the line has been crossed. We are not testing subjects. We are not experiments. What did you mean by this?
No, it's really hard for me to...
Okay,
I can write, but speaking is hard.
Let's discuss the themes of your music and your lyrical themes. Let's start with that.
Themes, I guess they're rather personal and deep. I guess I'm not just writing some gibberish made up stuff. So
yeah.
And it's rather dark. I guess a lot of mental issues and stuff like that. Traumas being released in song forms. So yeah.
Does that mean you find it quite, if you understand the word, cathartic? It's quite good for the soul to write like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess when something happens or it's tough, then when we are writing and I'm writing the lyrics, I guess I just pour my feelings out, and then it helps me a lot, I guess. Yeah.
And Martin, is it straight away when Lau brings the lyrics to the room? It's all like, you're straight in with it. You don't change much of his words.
Oh, for sure. I mean, whatever he says, that goes. I mean, sometimes we like throw around like a different word, maybe it benefits some riff a little bit better, but mostly we don't touch. It's
is it difficult writing in English? Do you have to sometimes check, sort of like maybe an English friend?
Yeah, we have to triple check just to be sure.
Yeah. Have you ever made a mistake and you said the complete wrong word or something like that? It can't be easy.
I don't know.
Well, most of us have been fortunate because we've started learning English from since kindergarten.
Yeah. Well, yeah, your English is excellent. Yeah.
Thank you. It's the tribute to our education system. Not us.
Your English is better than some British people, and that says a lot. So let's go back a bit. Martin, you might have to help with this. Obviously, Lau being a new member. Where did you form? How did you meet? How did you decide on the styles you crafted? Decide on the band name? Give us some history.
Okay, so we started out as Eons. That was like 2019, 2018, something like that. I accidentally totally stumbled into the band, by total accident. I was on a Facebook forum. I noticed some guys forming a group chat, local musicians. So I found these guys, Jörg and Robert. They were just jamming. They had their first video out. I was like, damn, that's amazing. Just wrote them up, hey, wanna jam together? I sent them some stuff. They liked it. I was in the band. Wow. After that, the previous singer we had, he went away, and me and Laura, we actually worked together, and so it was very easy to acquire him. But there was a big gig coming up. It was the Tallinn Music Week back in 2021, 22.
Yeah, something like that.
Like that. And Laura filled in for us, but it's he'll do this only once. He's not really a fan of the music.
Right.
But I showed him the early demo to Soft Gold,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, let me write some lyrics to this. I think I can actually add some synths and stuff like that." And he was in the band.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
how did you decide on the modern metal direction you took when you first started? I mean, how did you decide to bring in the cinematic and electronic themes? Or Laura, is that what you brought to the table?
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about earlier, was that on this EP you can actually hear that from Soft Cold to I guess Tetsuo or some songs. There's a huge difference and a huge leap in the synth stuff, I guess, and industrial influences. So um, yeah,
I can elaborate on that a bit as well. Me and Laura are definitely the traditionalists. So we have
yeah,
like
yeah,
raised on like industrial, classical, like heavy metal, new metal. I mean, Laura is a big fan of like Static X. I like Korn and
yeah,
stuff. So that
Right.
definitely helped. And Jörg brings the electronic, like the cinematic instrument, influenced the band.
Yeah.
And Robert definitely gives us this. Since he really doesn't like listen to metal every day,
Right.
he really gives us a whole new like vibe in terms of like drumming. Like there's a lot of like just modern
I've
pop music
noticed.
drumming actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. And Martin, how was it for you when Lau joined the band and he started bringing these ideas in? Was there any like hesitation at the first point going, oh, we don't want to go down this route? Or was it straight away, we're happy to move in this direction?
I was like so happy because we instantly clicked in terms of writing. Plus, I mean, knew him a little bit before because we worked together, but uh, he was really we were really on the same page. I mean, whatever he did, I wouldn't like I didn't like I can't imagine how to do it better. It like he sang
Right.
a vocal line, it was like, oh, I love it. I'm
Mm.
such a fan of his voice as well. Like when he screams and stuff, I was like, oh yes, it inspires me.
Right.
I'm a fan.
Lau, anything to elaborate, Lau?
maybe a little, yeah, because as Martin said, it was not my plan to actually join the band. I was
Mm.
just filling in for one show, and then yeah, when Martin gave me Soft Gold, then I was like, yeah, that's the stuff. So I was actually hearing that the sound was ready to change. I mean, it's not that genty anymore, or that
Yeah, for sure.
type of music anymore, I guess. So it's more straightforward for me, and I like it better. So
So, Lau,
yeah.
what were you doing before joining the band? What were you in a band at the time? Did you leave another band? Were you just floating?
Yeah, I've had actually quite many bands, and I'm working in guitar service. I mean, guitar
Right,
technician. Yeah,
right,
so that's how I know Martin. Martin works at the guitar store. So
right. Okay,
yeah.
very, very cool. And what is the Estonian metal scene like? I mean, obviously, across the water, so close, you got Finland, probably the most metal country in the world. How much does that bleed over the water, and how metal is Estonia?
It's let's again say like it's very hard to get into Finland to play,
Right, yeah,
but
yeah,
like hearing the bands, like the quality in terms of like how good the bands are, how well like performed the music is, to this day, it's still a bit of a gap.
right.
But like recently, like the last Telemusic Week showed that there are very, very competent young bands coming up. And I guess the gap is getting smaller and smaller every year.
And do you have a club scene? Is a good metal bars, rock bars in, well, especially Tallinn?
Some, but
There are
very
some,
little.
yeah. Mostly
Yeah,
it's like let's say like the hipster parts of Tallinn.
right.
Just have some clubs or bars that just play all kinds of bands,
Yeah, I
basically.
see. Now, cool video for Hive Mind. How much say do you have in these videos? Do you come up with the concepts for the artwork, videos, etc., or do you rely on outside sources? And also, there's a very cool behind the scenes video of the video, which is very cool. I advise people to go and check that out. So, talk about the imagery and everything, and how much say you have in that.
I have no say. Lord has everything.
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly like that because when I write the lyrics, I know best what they are about, and I have some kind of vision in my head already. So yeah, I have a lot to say in regards of the visual styles and everything like that.
Because the Hive Mind videos is quite a complex piece of work. I mean, that's not sort of like an easy video to do. You're not in a room just playing around. I mean, that's a pretty cool video. How did you get the team around to do that? Because it's not cheap to do these kind of things.
Absolutely. Well, we have a team of very good friends who believe in us and what we do, and they help out us in any way they can. So. Yeah, those things would be really expensive, but they just want to help us. So
yeah, I have to shout out Erik and Mart. Erik is the man behind our videos, and Mart is our lights guy, and they have really, really helped us make this Sonic thing into like a visual masterpiece as well. Like Laura brings up good themes, and Erik and Mart really help make it good.
And what about the artwork, the design, the t-shirts, the album artwork or the EP artwork? Where does that come from? Same team? Say you, Laura, again.
Yeah,
right, I'm glad you brought him into the band. Yeah. This guy's doing a lot.
Yes, sir.
So, how do you get influence for those kind of ideas? Again, does it come from the lyrics?
Yeah, mostly, yeah, lyrics, and then I have just some visual styles I like, and then if the guys like it, then it's all good. If they don't, I'll come up with another thing. So.
I see. So let's get on to some shows. What's happening this year with the live aspect of the band? What's coming up? You must be doing something to back this EP up.
Well, we are working on some stuff. Some of it we can't tell just yet. But actually, we've been really focused on writing.
Right.
I can't believe it. I mean, we just produced an EP, but
of course, yeah.
Yes,
you're always creative, right?
Yes, we are a creative bunch, and we're really hoping to release something cool.
Okay, so maybe an album the end of this year or something.
That's the goal. Yeah, that's the goal.
I've cracked the nut. That's great news.
Yeah.
So who would you? I mean, have you done many shows together? I mean, what is your back catalogue of shows like? Are you a live band? Do you do a lot of gigs?
I guess we do gigs rarely because we just don't want to water it down. I guess.
I understand.
So the scene is so little that when you play the same spots all over again, then it kind of loses the punch, I guess.
Yeah, the magic fades a little bit for sure.
Yeah, I get that. You don't want to oversaturate the market by playing in Tallinn every weekend, do you? Now, what about how hard is it creating your sound on stage? Is it as tough as it? I think it could potentially be. I'm a drummer myself. I can't play to click tracks on stage, but I imagine that's what you have to do, right?
Well, fortunately, almost every member in this band is also like a sound engineer. So, me and Jörg, we have our own production company, Laura engineers and produces bands as well. So that aspect is, it's like
easy.
It's easy because we're total sound nerds.
That's good.
And we have a really awesome sound guy as well, who has very good ideas and helps us, a lot. So we're good.
Who'd be your ideal band to tour with?
Oh, Sleep Token. Yes, sir.
Really? Now Sleep Token are causing a lot of controversy lately, haven't they? I mean, everyone's like, they're not metal, they're not this, they're not that, but I'll go.
Actually, funny that you say that because we were on our local radio show recently. We were in the favorites of one of the hosts of the Rock FM Estonia.
Yeah.
And they were discussing what genre is this? I think they played Soft Gold, I think. And they were like, well, it's like metal, but it has awesome singing. and screaming. So I think it's baddiecore, right?
Right.
I was like, baddiecore? And I researched it. I think Sleep Token actually are responsible for that
Right.
thing, the genre, the baddiecore stuff. Because because if apparently if girls dig your band, you can go viral.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's very true.
So I guess that's where it comes from. Yeah.
Now, this is an interesting question. Well, for me anyway. You guys are sound nerds. You all work very much in the industry from a studio perspective. What do you prefer, studio or stage?
That's a hard one.
Oh, that's difficult. Well, I think like a year ago I've said studio, but now I have to say live.
Right.
Maybe I have to say studio because you cannot play live if you don't have any songs.
Well, that's true.
That's true.
But you can drink more beer on the road.
No. Well, I can't drink that much because I get severe migraines. So
fair enough. Fair enough. Now, what's on the gig bucket list? Where would you like to play? You're a fresh band. You've got a good future ahead of you. What would you want? What do you want to achieve live wise? Where would you like to play? Country wise, festival, club, anything?
I went to Tuska in Helsinki last year. I loved it. I want to play there. Like now. Can we make this happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would be ideal. Yeah.
Yeah, just festivals wherever. Actually, we're not picky.
Yeah. And another thing for 2024, obviously with an album potentially on the cards. You self-release anyway because you've got the talent within the band to be able to do everything and everything. Are you interested in getting with a label? Is there any talk about potentially getting with a label, or is that a secret?
Lau, do you want to take this?
No.
Okay, so we caught the eye of like a pretty decent label, let's say.
Okay.
It's more than decent. And we've actually been working like together with them.
Great.
Even on Cybergnosis, actually.
Right.
And fortunately, we found an awesome promotion agency, and they really took us under the wing with the label. And if everything goes well, then yeah, we might have something very good to share with you.
Excellent. I think you're one of the bands to watch for 24 for sure. Definitely.
Thank you.
That's why we're talking. I won't be talking to you.
Thanks, sir.
Now, how are you fixed for a couple of fun questions?
Absolutely.
Can Estonians cope with this? Can we do this?
Yes. Right. What is fun? We don't have fun in Estonia. Of course. Let's go.
Well, I remember what it was like. I was in Helsinki more recently than Tallinn, and it was so serious. I know you guys. I'm sure you can cope with this. Now, if you could, this is okay. You ready to go?
Yes,
if you could steal credit for any piece of art, song, film, book, etc., what would you choose? Anything?
That's so hard.
Off the top of my head, I remember there is this one song from Periphery. It's called "The Scourge," and that's the first one that popped into my head because to this day I think it's the perfect metal song because it's very like non-traditional. It's almost like a dreamy ballad, but then it just blasts off into something absolutely heavy and incredible.
That's good. Good answer. Lau, have you got anything? You can pass if you want.
Maybe I would take credit for a movie called A Clockwork Orange.
Fair enough. That's good enough.
Nice.
Kubrick. So if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
I would take the ability to fly.
Good one.
Invisibility, maybe.
Yeah, go anywhere with that. Now, if you could choose one song to play every time you walk into a room for the rest of your life, what track?
So like a boss answer would probably be like The Raining Blood or something, right?
Yeah.
But actually, that's difficult. There are so many.
I tell you, every time I ask this question to the few, I do ask it. Back in Black or something like that comes up every time. You know what I mean? Walking into a room.
That's good. That's also good.
Yeah.
I think Cybergnosis from Metallica.
I would have to say Fortunate Son.
Yeah. Okay. Are you both guitar? You both guitar guys, right?
Yeah, we all play.
So, in your opinion, what's the heaviest riff of all time or the best riff of all time?
Oh, no.
Whether it's the most technical or the most, something that's always gets you every time. Like, yeah.
So, when we discussed, when Soft Cold actually started, the idea behind it was I was just noodling around trying something very basic. I was actually listening to a lot of Korn and the song Here to Stay.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like a chromatic, it's just a chromatic simple run. And it's like the heaviest riff.
Yeah.
I think like when the song kicks in, it's like,
how
can you not destroy the room you're in? It's like, it's crazy. So I have to go with Here to Stay.
Good. Lau?
I'm thinking about it. It's really hard.
You can pass. You get no points though.
Am I winning?
You are.
Yeah, I guess.
Just on the speed of your answers.
Master of Puppets.
Oh, okay.
That's cool though.
Yeah, that's cool. What's the most used emojis in your phone? He's gonna have to look. Yeah. What's the first one?
It's probably like the poop emoji or something like that. But
I think maybe the.
Oh, so it's the smiling emoji with the tear running down.
Oh, that's a bit sad.
Yeah. That would be it.
Like the bittersweet.
Yeah, melodramatic.
Yes.
Okay, in 3 words, describe the band. One can have 2 and one can have 1. Start with you, Martin. You're faster.
3 words. Oh no. It's really cool.
So sweet. But
right, finally, this is always a tough one. If you think my questions are tough, this gets harder. What one Pridian track should I play next and why?
Oh, you said Deadfall?
Yeah.
You agree on that?
No.
I'll play them both. You have one each. I'll play them both.
I think I'd have to say Disgust.
Yeah. And Lau?
Yes.
Deadfall.
Okay, cool. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining on the show tonight. I really appreciate it. Good luck with the rest of the year. All this exciting news is going to happen. I'm looking forward to an album. It's a great EP. I suggest everyone goes and listens to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you live at some time too.
Thank you, Daniel. I hope to see you.
Thanks.